Greetings, everyone. 2K Sports brings you the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan. I'm joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr as we get set to bring you all the action. A battle in the Western Conference. This Houston crowd hoping to watch their Rockets come out on top. Tip-off goes to Houston. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Rubio and Martin manning the backcourt. Wiggins is out there with Young. And it's Pekovic in at the center. Harden the pass to Howard. And that one is stuffed right through.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish. Well, James Harden is a pure scorer, but for him to get this Rockets team where they hope to go, I think he has to lead in more ways than just offensively. Really needs to set the example with his defense, his effort, and his unselfishness as well.
Now here's Wiggins. Here's Pekovic, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Now Harden. Howard setting the pick for Harden. Dishes it to Howard. Back to Harden. And the rebound goes to Martin.
And Harden is a great passer. But last season, at times, it seemed like he settled into being a ball stopper. He's so talented, so gifted offensively. He's an excellent offensive player when he's isolated. But this team has so much offensive talent. I think they're best served to keep that ball hopping. And that goes for any team, but clearly a team that has the weapons that Houston does.
Well, that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active, be energetic.
Now here's Beverly, covered by Rubio. Left side Ariza. Just 5 on the clock. And he uses the glass on the layup. When you think of the superstar 2 guards who have won titles over the years, whether it's Kobe Bryant in Los Angeles or Dwayne Wade in Miami, Steve, they've all gotten after it defensively.
Yeah, and I think that's where Harden has to take the next step, in my opinion. When he's locked in, he's great. You know, he's got the long wingspan, he's got the strength. It's just about having that focus and that energy, that intensity that you need at the defensive end.
Now here is Howard. After the miss from Nikola Pekovic. Harden with it. Pass to Ariza. Howard setting the pick for Ariza. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Ariza's got his second bucket.
Well, that shot was made possible by the work Dwight Howard did.
Rubio outside. Martin dishes to Pekovic. To the left side wing. Here's Wiggins. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Andrew Wiggins blessed with great athletic bloodlines. You know, his father was a former NBA player, and his mom was an Olympic sprinter. So make no mistake, great genes there.
At his size 6'8" with a 7-foot arm span, Andrew Wiggins has a chance to literally rise above his opponents.
Great bounce, tremendous bounce ability, over 40-inch vertical jump, and he's got a quick second and third jump as well, Kevin, which sometimes is overlooked, but it makes a big difference in the game of basketball.
Scouts don't overlook that, though.
No, they're always on top of it.
They sure are. And both free throws good for Wiggins.
There were a lot of hopeful Minnesota fans thinking they had a chance at the playoffs last year early, but injuries and slumps derailed their season.
And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That is his first foul of the game.
Terrific defensive play to cut him off and square up.
And he took a shot. Excellent toughness to get in there and make a play. I love that kind of work.
Here's Rubio. Well, it doesn't seem that long ago, but it's been a decade, Clark, a decade since the Wolves were in the playoff situation.
Time moves on. You know that, Kevin. It races by. Hard to believe they were a postseason lock for much of the late 90s and early 2000s.
There's a guy named Kevin Garnett that was there. Helped that cause.
Yes, sir.
Here's Beverly. Following the basket by Nikola Pekovic. And Beverly kicks to Harden. The three-pointer is right on target. Harden's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Rubio the pass to Martin. Pekovic with a screen on Harden. Wiggins kicks to Young. And right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
With some arc, and it's Beverly missing. Minnesota in the lead. Rubio outside. It's Martin on the wing. And it's Young at the elbow. And stolen by Howard. Here's Harden. No good. And Minnesota now the other way. Pekovic with the screen for Rubio to the left side wing. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And that one's good, Pekovic.
And at 4 or 5 now, a nice start. I mean, he looks ready to make an impact offensively. So far, so good.
Now here's Beverly. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Nice job coming off that screen.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
Pekovic with a screen. And the basket by Rubio.
Ran his man straight into that screen to open the lane up for the hoop.
Rockets trail by 4. Feeds it to Ariza. The pass to Harden. Fades away. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there. Minnesota with the ball. Here's Martin. He kicks to Rubio. Martin against Harden. Young outside. 6 on the shot clock. He dishes it to Wiggins. Howard trying to free himself up. And Wiggins with the basket on the assist by Young. Wiggins has got 5.
I'm not necessarily a big fan of him shooting that shot, but they did give him the space.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game.
Keep it going for your Rockets Power Dancers.
Rockets trail by 5. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kevin McHale gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We talked about the challenges posed by a player like Ricky Rubio, such a tremendous passer and floor general. Coach said, we know he can make plays, but making shots is where he's been less effective. We need to focus on staying home and forcing him to beat us with his scoring. Guys, we'll see if they can limit his highlight reel dimes. Back to you.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Here's Rubio. James Harden picking up that last basket. Rubio missing again.
And a missed opportunity right there.
Definitely, I think he should have converted that one.
Howard with a screen on Rubio. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Now, tough call there on that illegal screen.
He didn't look set to me, Steve. I thought that was a good call.
Minnesota leading by 3. Pekovic with a screen. Rubio outside. Outside, Martin. To the wing on the left. Shot clock at 6. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Houston. Ariza kicks to Harden. Lays it up and banks it in. And it's now only a 1-point Timberwolves lead.
Well, he's found his game and his rhythm this quarter. He's gotten into a nice groove.
Pekovic with the screen for Rubio. And it's Martin penetrating.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Timberwolves?
And the points they're getting in the lane will really help them open up the floor.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Jeff Adrian's checked in for Howard, for James Harden. And it's Isaiah Cannon in for Patrick Beverley. And then for Minnesota, Gorgie Dang's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Brewer comes in for Wiggins, and Mo Williams subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Ariza outside. Here's Cannon, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Boy, has there been any defense played yet in this game?
Nope, this game has been all about rapid-fire offense early.
Some changes for Minnesota. And it's checked in for Young. And Barea subbed in for Kevin Martin. The Rockets shooting their first free throw of the game here. And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. Well, the Rockets, wouldn't you say, are really to be commended, Clark, for rebuilding this team without tearing it down to the studs or tanking, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. I mean, they've improved dramatically with Harden and Howard. But this is a team that's held a winning record in the West now for 8 straight seasons. That's pretty impressive.
It is. And so here is Houston after the basket by Minnesota. On the wing, Daniels. The three. And he gets it to go. Daniels has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And these two teams continuing to trade blows like heavyweights in the middle of the ring.
So many times tonight, the energy in this building has gone from one way to the other.
Now, here's Brewer. The baseline J. Misses off the left iron.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
Jones dishes to Cannon. Here's Ariza. Rebound by Dang.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level.
Pass to Brewer. The dish to Williams. Kicks it to Bennett. Unloads from 13. Second shot opportunity. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. And here's Daniels. Pass to Canaan. He feeds it to Daniels. Jones controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And now a 4-point Rocket lead.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Here's Barea on the money from 12 feet away.
Risky shot there. Size-wise, I mean, he easily comes out on the short end of the stick, so to speak.
With the nice high release, he had no problem getting it off and knocking it down.
Here's Canaan. Jones with the screen on Williams. The feed to Ariza. Beyond the arc. That doesn't go either for Ariza.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not.
1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Timeout called the Rockets.
Anthony Bennett had one of the most dismal rookie seasons ever for a #1 overall pick. Really didn't come into camp in great shape. He had shoulder surgery, also had an asthma issue. So he's got to get himself in better condition as he furthers his career.
1:37 left to play in the first. Here's Kanan. They set the pick. It's Ariza on the wing. Nails the wide-open jump shot. Ariza's got 6 points.
You know, Anthony Bennett apparently suffers from asthma and sleep apnea. That might have contributed. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that probably had to contribute to his struggles adjusting to the speed and the demands of the NBA game. Even at UNLV, one criticism was that his motor didn't always run at full throttle, and you can't be ramped up if you haven't slept up.
Power dancers.
Here's Dang. Williams passes to Dang. Here's Bennett. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. And for Bennett, the expectation, Steve, of course, of being the #1 overall pick will continue to weigh heavily on him. Not only now, but throughout his career, even amidst a weak draft class. That focus and attention can cut both ways.
Yeah, and Kevin, I think his inconsistent body language suggested that mentally the pressure was getting to him. Hopefully, he can find a way to get his game back on track.
Here's Williams. Terrence Jones making his last shot. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper. Jones with the screen on Williams. Adrian kicks to Kanan. Ariza, count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Now it's a 6-point Rocket lead. Minnesota's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Great job. Take it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left him no choice but to foul there.
The Timberwolves shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
2 shots.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw. We've got 22 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Kanan. On the wing, Daniels. Dishes to Cannon. Ariza has the open look. Again, the Rockets score.
Well, I'll bet his teammates love playing with him. He's distributing the ball perfectly.
Well, he keeps everybody happy, and you know what? The assist numbers don't lie.
A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Rockets lead by 7. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, for the Rockets, what jumps out to you from a numbers standpoint?
Just the start they wanted to this game. Solid offense. They got good ball movement. Established a nice rhythm.
Yeah, not stagnant at all. Free-flowing and fluid at the offensive end.
Timberwolves trail by 7.
Minnesota is in a bit of a difficult spot with their road games. They always have to travel a great distance to get to opposing sites because they're in the Western Conference, and that can take a toll over the course of the season.
On the court for Minnesota, Rubio and Martin manning the backcourt. Young out there with Corey Brewer, and it's Jang in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Howard. A second chance effort, and the layup is up and in. Howard's got the lead up to 7 now for Houston.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Young sets a screen for Rubio. Fires from 14. Martin with the bucket.
I guess you could say those lengthy travel distances for Minnesota took their toll last year because the Timberwolves managed only 16 road wins a season ago.
Another shot, and there's the nice layup by Howard. Howard's got 8 points.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
Oh, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean, they have to start shutting down some of those lanes to the hoop.
Now here is Martin. Young with no one around. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more. Well, guys, Minnesota was close to a 500 team last year at 40-42. But as you said, struggling on the road kept them, Steve, out of the playoffs.
Well, to make the playoffs in the West, I mean, I think you have to go at least 500 on the road. And getting road wins is where Minnesota will have to improve to get back to the postseason.
And, guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
Guys, they're really passing the ball well here in the first half.
They're crashing the offensive glass hard, too. I mean, they've dropped in several second-chance baskets.
The first free throw is good.
Well, for Ricky Rubio, it seems there's been a little disappointment in his development as a shooter, but still room for hope and optimism. The Timberwolves were much better with him on the floor. His overall impact on the game, still undervalued, but clearly impactful.
Johnson, he's checked in for Houston. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Jang, and Wiggins is subbed in for Corey Brewer. Well, Stevie, talk about that stat for Rubio. The Timberwolves were almost 13 points per 100 possessions better with him on the floor.
Yeah, between his passing and his defense, he's a difference maker, Kevin. I know his shooting percentages haven't been great over the course of his career, but they're getting better. And Rubio, there's no doubting that he makes his team better when he's out there.
The first one falls.
Patrick Beverley is absolutely a hound dog defensively. He's got so much pit bull in him and how he goes about defending people at that guard spot. He's not a big playmaker or scorer. He's basically a three-point shooter and a defensive specialist.
Good on both. And Patrick Beverley, a nice find for the Houston Rockets, makes an ideal pairing with Harden in the backcourt.
Yeah, he sure does, Kevin, because he's tough, he's defensive-minded. He's a good complement to Harden, and I think any team in the league would love to have him just because of that toughness and that competitive desire.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Now here's Beverley. Harden kicks to Beverley. Howard in the post, covered by Pekovic. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. The Rockets have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any.
Well, this is an area of concern for this club. They only shot 71% from the line last year.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
You know, Dwight Howard had started 6 straight All-Star games until last season. The new balloting system with 2 backcourt players and 3 frontcourt players resulted in Blake Griffin and Kevin Love in the starting lineup. Howard felt slighted. He thinks that centers are kind of getting the short end of the stick here.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
guys, as we know, Dwight Howard used to covet the big market. His friend Josh Smith had said he's addicted to being global. And Howard even admitted people were in my ear about being in a bigger place and bringing more dollars in. Nowadays, it's not about where you play. Unfortunately, I had to learn that lesson in front of the whole world. Kevin?
His image took a hit, Doris, but he's learned from it, obviously. Thanks. Now, here is Martin. Clock at 6. Rubio with a wide-open look. Off target from three-point range. And you remember, Howard last season created a mock commercial asking people to save the centers.
Yeah, you know, as usual, Dwight Howard finding a way to have fun with it in bizarre fashion. That's part of who he is. But I think the underlying issue is a true one. The age of the lumbering pivot man in the NBA seems to be slowly going towards extinction.
The Timberwolves have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line.
2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
Well, playing in the West can be a grind, and that's what was impressive about where the Rockets ended up. They didn't rely on their bench a whole lot. They really rode their starters.
And both free throws good for Wiggins. As you said, Clark, Rockets did well against the rest of the conference and really didn't have a deep rotation.
Usually that can catch up to a team, but the Rockets starters were able to stay healthy and log big minutes last year, and it's why they nabbed that 4th seed in the West.
Howard's shot is good. Timberwolves trail by 6. Rubio outside. Pass to Martin. Pekovic with a screen on Johnson. Wiggins kicks to Young. That one off the back iron and out. Rockets have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told.
Good. Johnson.
And the Rockets lead by 8.
Just the shot they wanted. Point blank range.
Minnesota shooting a sweet 57% clip in quarter number 2. Rubio dishes to Martin. Pekovic with the screen for Martin. Here's Young. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Young's got 7 points in the game.
He had a whole lot of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, I don't think the defender did a good job there of getting over the top of the screen.
And Beverly kicks to Johnson. Puts up the baby hook. Howard misses.
He operates pretty well in traffic, guys, but that was a tough play to finish off.
Rubio the pass to Martin. Pekovic with a screen on Johnson. Outside Martin. 6 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Rubio. And here's Young from the arc. The Rockets pull it in. Howard's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
Levine's checked in for Ricky Rubio.
Now in the lineup for Timberwolves, Zach Levine.
And the Rockets with possession here. 6-point game. Harden has a wide open look. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Harden's got 9.
You gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Levine kicks to Martin. Here's Wiggins. Bangs home the trifecta. Wiggins has got 5 points now this quarter.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Harden kicks to Adrian. They set the pick. Johnson outside. 6 to shoot. It's Harden with the drive. Beverly, good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 3 assists now in this one.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Minnesota calls timeout.
James Harden with those rush hour handles, whether it's breaking his man down in isolation or running the pick and roll, he keeps that thing on a string.
Timberwolves trail by 8. Outside, Martin. Here's Levine. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And Harden, a left-hander. Defenders tend to have more trouble, it seems, guys, with softballs.
Well, and especially with Harden because of how crafty he is. He's got that Manu Ginobili Euro move, the change of speed, change of direction, and then the strength. I mean, that's what separates him. He draws contact and seems to just go right through players.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Zach LaVine, a bit of a late bloomer. Wasn't a top recruit until he hit a late growth spurt in high school. Now he's a 6'5" combo guard. Came out of UCLA after one season. Still a bit unproven, but one of those upside picks because of his athleticism and shooting range.
The Rockets making a switch here. Jones is checked in. Now here's Beverly. He has 5. Feeds to Johnson. Howard setting the pick for Johnson. And there's the pass to Jones. Lets a floater go. That one falls, coming off the Johnson feed. Jones has got the lead up to 8 now for the Rockets. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And Levine played point guard in high school before his growth spurt. And Clark, you see him as more of a point guard? Shooting guard.
I see him as a shooting guard at this point. I mean, just based on what I saw of him in the 1 year at UCLA. Tremendous athleticism. He's a bouncy young fella. Streaky shooter at this point. But I like his energy level. He's going to be a guy that has a chance, I think, to be a really good two-way player.
Here's Jones following the score by Kevin Martin. Passes it to Beverly. Johnson outside. Houston moving it around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Beverly. Rebound, Minnesota. Pekovic has got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
Things have kind of gone south for him here in the quarter.
Here's Levine. Rebounded by Howard. Howard's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Harden kicks to Beverly. The dish to Howard. Almost, but it rolls out. Timberwolves trail by 6. Kicks it to Martin. Young, a screen on Harden. To the wing right side. For the 3. Levine can't hit.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
Johnson attacking. Here's Beverly. Howard against Pekovic. Harden kicks to Beverly. He dishes it to Johnson. Harden has a wide open look. Misses the 3. The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. Pekovic with a screen on Harden. Wiggins dishes to Pekovic. Baseline try, and the basket good. Pekovic has got 10 points in the game. Rockets leading by 4. Harden outside. He kicks to Johnson. Pass to Jones. Left side, Jones. A shot by Harden. Wide open. Another miss by Houston. Timberwolves trail by 4. Here's Levine. He feeds it to Martin. Out to the wing. Wiggins passes to Martin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Martin's got 6 here in this quarter.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
Harden kicks to Johnson. Now the feed to Jones. Looking to end the drought. Rebound collected by Levine. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Pekovic with a screen. Levine passes to Wiggins. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to drop that in.
Yeah, you got to make that one. I mean, that's a high-quality shot you should make 9 out of 10 times. You know, last year the Wolves proved they were competitive. No teams pushed them around. But in the Western Conference, being competitive isn't enough to get you to the playoffs.
Well, the Timberwolves had a losing record of 23-29 against the rest of the West. Steve, they weren't able to stay in playoff contention for too long.
Well, injuries were a part of that, but in general, this team is still missing a few pieces before they can climb that ladder out in the West.
Well, Nikola Pekovic, a battering ram style of play, but really soft hands for a big guy. I think that combination makes him one of the most effective inside scorers in the league.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Harden, for Johnson, and it's Isaiah Cannon in for Patrick Beverly. You know, Steven, for Pekovic, he's not the NBA leader in points in the paint every season. He's not far off, though. A great post-up score, something you see less and less of nowadays.
And even off the ball, a great offensive rebounder and finisher. He punishes you on the inside.
Here is Daniels, dishes it to Cannon to end the drought. If they time it right, they can end this quarter with a 2-for-1.
Yeah, that's the smart move there. That's how you want to end the quarter, but make sure you get a good solid possession here.
Williams dishes to Pekovic. On the wing, Brewer lets it go with a 3. The Rockets pull it in.
I'll tell you what, you can shake your confidence missing wide open shots like that.
Here's Daniels. Here's Cannon. He's guarded by Williams. Cannon gets to Ariza. Jones sets the pick for Ariza. Shot clock at 6. Jones trying to get open. Good. And it's a 5-point Rocket lead.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Williams attacking. Good.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
And we're through 2 here in a good one. The Rockets on top. They're up by 3. We'll get right back to the action when we return.